Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help myself. So today we are painting up. Oh, first introduction. Why not? My name is Alistair and I am the Bad Mini Painter. Now, I call myself the Bad Mini Painter because unlike 95% of all the channels on YouTube that do this, I'm not an expert Golden Demon candidate painter. I am an amateur, but I want to get better and have fun with it. So I decided to do this channel because I also like to do videos and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy this. Today we are painting an XV88 Broadside Battlesuit for the Tau. I started out by priming it white and then going over it with the white scar from Citadel. Maybe the worst paint that Citadel has created. It is really quite horrible, but it has decent coverage and yeah. So I just kind of slap it on all over the model. I won't put you through that. So next I go in with gray sear, and I do that for some of the panels on the shoulders and the little console thingamabob on the front of the model. I have to say that I absolutely love the Tau models, and it's one of the armies that I'm trying to push to 2000 points. This is actually my very first Tau model, so that's the first step of the journey. Next I do some Dawnstone for the knees, or the pads on the knees, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I'm currently working through my League of Wotan, and I have decided to spice it up with a couple more armies, just so I have some variation on the videos I upload on the channel, and yeah. Also, I don't go insane. I'm pretty sick of looking at the Sons of Horus. I use Abaddon Black for the gun and several other parts on this model. And I must say, I don't know if you guys know Gundam, but I am a Gundam fan, and I have put together some kits. And unlike most of the Games Workshop plastic kits, this was actually pretty fun for me to put together. I managed to mess it up, but it was still fun for me to put it together. It wasn't as frustrating as I'm used to. League of Wotan is especially frustrating. For the head, I decided to give it some Scarlet Blood from Vallejo. It's one of my favorite base color red, or base red colors. It has awesome coverage, and it's quite vibrant. So yeah, and that's basically just for the head. It is very black and white. I decided to shade it with the red tone from Army Painter. It's a pretty cool wash, and the effect is actually quite awesome. A little bit of precision work here, but not too much, and that's right up my alley. I am a slap-on painter. That is my specialty, I guess. And then I go with the Azul Ultramarine, also from Vallejo, for the islands. It has good coverage. Most blue paints have good coverage, but I like this one, also quite vibrant. Now for my favorite part, the black wash. I use a very thin pencil that still have enough bristles to actually suck up the black wash, so I can get it into all the little channels and let it run. Of course, there's some cleanup afterwards, but I actually managed to do it without messing it up too much. I decided to go with the black wash from Army Painter instead of non-oil because it's more runny, and it seems to be a little less pigmented than non-null oil, so I wouldn't get as many stains as I did with this one. The cleanup was actually, see, I messed up right there, but the cleanup was absolutely minimum, and it was really good at running in the channels. And a little bit of highlighting for the lens with the Lothran blue from Citadel, and that looks okay. So now Hasnot chopper, brilliant. Copper for all the golden metallic part, and I'm going to use this as a base paint, base layer, even though it is a layer paint. Just meant that I have to give it 19 layers, and basically I put it on all the bevels. I try to follow the box art where I feel like it makes sense. Games Workshop are absolutely horrible at giving you like a complete guide. They will only show 80% of the model and let you guess the rest. But yeah, so I slapped that on all the bevels and thingamabobs. Next thing is a highlight for the head, and I just use Wild Rider Red. It's almost orange, but not really. I found that using a really thin, long brush makes it easier for me to do the edge highlighting without slipping too much into flat surfaces, which is a major issue for me. And I really like the effect that the red tone actually gave. I didn't go in and clean up, yeah, that's good. And I use Dawnstone to highlight the gun, just to like where I would imagine that like focal points would be. I didn't go all over it like on the box art, but just I picked my spots where I felt like it would make sense to have a bit of highlighting. And it looks a bit clumsy now, but the end result is actually like pretty good. Next, it's Gehenna gold. Gehenna? Anywho, gold from Citadel. A warm gold for highlighting the Hazard copper. And just basically touching the top of the bevels. Next, I went in with a 50-50 of Lutheran Blue and Lamian Medium to get that glow effect. I could have used a contrast, but I have experience with the Lutheran Blue thinned up for like a light effect, and it works pretty well. And what I do is I slap on a little bit too much of, a little bit more than I actually want there. And then I will go in with a Q-tip and wipe and suck up the excess. And that also, like the smear, I feel like it kind of helps the glow effect a little bit. And I went over it a couple of times with paint and then back with the Q-tip and then more paint and then back with the Q-tip. And if it's a bit too excessive, I dip the Q-tip in Lamian Medium before I do the smearing, and that will reactivate the paint if it hasn't dried too much. So yeah, the end result is I was pretty satisfied with it. For the base, I just use basing glue from Arm Painter, a brush that is pretty messed up already. This is actually a fairly expensive brush, but I managed to ruin it by using Citadel metallic paints. Don't do that with expensive brushes. They will murder it. And you spread out the glue as good as you can, and then you dip it in the sand. And I actually have some Citadel sand left. I bought this 6 years ago, and I haven't really used it that much. Apparently a bit, but not that much. And I just throw them all in there, spread it around as good as I can, and I think that that works well for the base for the Tau. I imagine they are in like a sandy kind of world. I'm going to put some grass there as well, and maybe do some water effects on some of the other models. Right, that could be kind of cool. Yeah, I might do that. And the final product looks like this. They could have gone a lot worse. I think the grass does a nice difference. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you didn't, fair enough. Yeah, I will see you next week for another one. Thank you so much for your time, and bye.